Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Barbara and today we're going to be looking at Venus in Virgo. So this video is for you if you do have this placement. If you're a cross watcher, welcome as well. Very excited to be getting into the earth signs for the Venus placements. For you guys, your love is always going to be practical, it's always going to be grounded, and it's going to always be realistic, especially for the Venus in Virgo. So for you guys, let's start off with the ideal situation. The ideal situation for a Venus in Virgo person is going to be to have a partner who's there, who's reliable, who is in some sort of routine with you guys, but not too much in a routine, because if it gets too boring, you guys aren't going to be interested in this. So you guys are going to have to find ways to switch up the vibes when you are in a partnership of this sort. You guys are going to want a competent partner. You guys don't want someone that you have to tell everything to. This is like a nightmare for you guys if you end up in a situation and it's like your partner's maybe lazy, or it's like you constantly have to be like, okay, can you do this thing? Can you do that thing? It turns into like a nagging energy. And more often than not, unfortunately, this placement does attract this type of energy. It's kind of like this world just works in irony for whatever reason. It's like you get the opposite of what it is that you're looking for. And honestly, I think it's to teach us contrast in our life to actually see what it is that we are looking for. So this is the ideal situation for you guys. Someone who's competent, reliable, loyal, and someone who wants to upgrade themselves, someone who wants to work on themselves with you, someone who's always leveling up, and someone who's always there in the sense where it's like there's an equal give and take. That's the thing, because sometimes that Venus in Virgo placement can fall into overgiving. That's a huge shadow for Virgo energy overall, because it is the healer's axis, Virgo Pisces energy. Sometimes you guys can fall into that servant shadow where it's like you guys are giving too much. You're giving too much of yourselves. And the thing is, when we do these things, it's because subconsciously we're expecting the other person to give it back to us. It's like we're trying to teach them what it is that we want. That's the thing. You guys want someone to give to you guys. You want it to be equal. You want it to be an equal balance in a situation. But more often than not, especially earlier on in life, if you're more unaware and if you don't even realize that you have this energy in your natal chart, you might attract the opposite of that. You might attract people who siphon your energy, who take from you, who leave you feeling depleted, especially in terms of relationships, because that's what Venus does deal with. It does deal mainly with your romantic relationships, but it can also deal with your friendships and any sort of interpersonal relationships that you guys may have. So you guys might find yourselves in this pattern with people where it's like you're constantly giving. People are taking, and you feel drained. And it's like, sometimes I feel like the Venus and Virgo person does have to learn to vocalize their needs more, does have to learn to kind of be like, this is what I need, this is what I'm looking for, this is what my ideal relationship is. If you can fit that, great. If you can't fit that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to part ways with you. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's kind of like maybe they do say it once and the person forgets, or they're not listening, or maybe it's like the way they deliver the message. But it's like for whatever reason, they somehow end up in this dynamic where it's like they're being passive aggressive. You know, it's kind of like, I expect you to know this already because you guys are so competent. That's the thing. And because you guys are on that healer's axis, Virgo energy can be very psychic. You guys can be very intuitive. So you guys can know your partners to this extent, and you can expect that in return from them. And it's like, if you guys don't get that, it can fall into that passive aggressive energy. It can fall into that nitpicking energy. It can fall into that critical energy. Because to you guys, it's like, I'm so competent. I understand you. I know how to do a relationship. Well, how come you don't? You know, and it's like, because you're unaware that this is going on, it falls into that shadow of Virgo, unfortunately, which is that critical energy. Because the thing is, and the struggle with the Virgo energy overall is like you guys are seeking perfection at the end of the day. I know people say that Virgos are perfectionists, but it's like you guys do have this ideal version in your mind. And the thing is, what tends to happen a lot of the time, especially with Venus and Virgo, it's like you guys are seeking perfection in other people. But it's like something that you guys eventually do have to come to terms with is like there is no perfection in this world. You're never going to find a perfect partner. You're never going to have that perfect ideal relationship. So it's like there's a huge energy here of learning what unconditional love really is, which is interesting because that's what your opposition, Pisces, is teaching you guys. So it's like, this is why a lot of the time they say that, you know, the planet falls in here when it's in the sign of Virgo, because it's exalted when it's in Pisces. It's in its ideal version when it's in Pisces. And it's like the Piscean energy is like the dreams and the visions and like the ideal romance. And for you guys, for whatever reason, when you guys are growing up, it's like you guys are taught that it's like, no, this world is very realistic. There are hard things that happen, you know, and it's like it can throw you guys into too much of a realistic energy where it's like you guys don't dream, or you guys don't allow yourselves to dream, or you guys don't allow yourselves to get messy, because it's like for whatever reason, that Virgo energy when they're growing up, it's like you guys weren't able to express that aspect of yourselves, if that makes sense, because it's like you guys were maybe expected to be serious very early on. Like Virgo energy, especially like for someone who has like a Virgo child, it's like that parent knows that that child is good. And it's kind of like it turns into this dynamic where it's like, a lot of the time the Virgo child could end up being like a very good student, perfect in school, and the parents like, I don't have to worry about that kid. Maybe they worry about the other children. If you guys have siblings within the home, it's like, oh, the Virgo child is the kid that's like the ideal kid. Like, I don't have to worry about that kid because they're competent. That's the thing, is that competent energy. You guys could have even been the type that like packs your lunches when you're going to school, and it's like the parents like, I don't have to worry about you. But it's like, in a strange way, from early on in life, it's not so much responsibility like Capricorn energy. It's just like the expectations there, the dynamics are already established there, where it's like you guys in a way take care of yourselves. So it's like when it comes to relationships, it's a struggle because in a way there's like that inner child that's dying to be taken care of. That's the thing. That's why a lot of the time that Virgo energy does fall into the servant shadow. They're very good at nurturing. You'll see this placement to be very good in places like health, healing, and being of service in terms of jobs, because sometimes Virgo can deal with the indulgences in life, it can deal with the pleasures in life, and it can also deal sometimes with how you can make money. So you guys are going to be very good at the day-to-day. You're going to be very good at the routine, at the attention to detail, any sorts of jobs that require you to be at that job for an extended period of time, in terms of like studying for it, learning all of the details, like things like being a doctor, veterinarian. You could even be like actuary, engineering, accountant. It really depends on the rest of your natal chart. That's really the whole thing here, because like, again, at the end of the day, we're showing people how we want to be treated. The Venus and Virgo person is dying to be taken care of. They want to be able to be with someone that allows them to, put those guards down, to relax a little bit. But unfortunately, like I mentioned, more often than not, you guys attract the opposite of that, where it's like you guys have to work even harder with the person, or the person's just sloppy in one way, shape, or form, or they're forgetful. And it's like, it feeds that belief. It's really like a chicken and an egg situation, because it's like, does it happen because the belief is already there and then it's like, keeps getting perpetuated, or, does the belief come from it happening? But regardless, like, this is the whole thing here with Venus and Virgo. Unfortunately, you're going to attract those people because it's like, in a way, it's your shadow side. That's the thing we have to understand with relationships as well. A lot of the time, it's like people are showing you your unintegrated shadow. So it's like there's an aspect of you that wants to be sloppy. There's an aspect of you that wants to be able to forget, not be on top of everything and not be on top of the ball at all times. I don't even know, on the ball, I guess is the expression, right? And it's like, because for whatever reason, when you guys were growing up, you weren't able to do that. You had to be competent, you had to be like on top of everything. And it's like I said, there's that aspect that really wants to relax. So the thing is, when you guys are looking for a partner, it's like you guys have to become aware of that shadow within yourselves, because otherwise you're going to keep attracting these people. And it's like, you're always going to end up being unhappy, because it's like, it kind of feels like for you guys when you're in a relationship that you're taking on the burden of both people, yourself and that person, versus this person adding into your life like an actual partner, where it's like you guys are equal and there's an equal balance happening in the relationship. But the thing is, you guys will only get there after, you integrate, like I said, those shadow aspects of yourselves and, realize what it is that you guys are looking for. And the thing is, what tends to happen is like sometimes because we have the preconceived notion, like, oh, I'm going to have to be the competent one all the time. Or it's like the other person ends up relaxing a little bit too much. Like you guys might already attract someone who's a little bit more relaxed, but then they end up relaxing a little bit too much. And then for you guys, it might turn into like, you guys feel like relationships are burdens, and you guys might avoid them altogether. You guys might go into the other extreme where it's like, I'm just focusing on my work. I'm focusing on, my money, my career, my whatever it is, like my goals in life. And that's the thing. And it's like, again, it's going to really be pulling you this energy, because this placement can be very good at grounding those dreams and visions if you guys allow yourselves to dream, and if you guys allow yourselves to have that belief that, this exists out there. That's that Pisces energy. That's what Pisces is teaching you guys. So that's the whole thing here. It's really good to look at the opposition sign and to see what is that sign teaching you guys as well, to integrate those aspects of yourself within yourself, so you guys can attract that ideal vision. Because the thing is, the Venus and Virgo individual is going to have an ideal partner, an ideal vision that they have in mind. And it's like, because you guys are very good at grounding in the physical plane, you're a physical sign, it's an earth sign. You guys can bring this through. You really can. But a lot of it is going to require trust. And this is going to be a huge thing for you guys to, first of all, trust in another individual to actually do something properly, to, give away your control. Because that's the thing, the Virgo energy can also deal with control sometimes, because again, when you guys were younger, there was something that was spinning out of control. That's why that Virgo energy is very competent, because it's like they take things into their own hands. They're like, okay, everyone around me doesn't know what they're doing. I'm going to do it correctly. But that gets tiring after a while. You guys eventually want someone to take some of that burden off of you, is really what that is. But you guys are going to struggle with that control. You guys are going to struggle with relinquishing control, relinquishing the trust in another person to get to that level that you guys are seeking. So that's going to constantly be that push and pull. And you guys might struggle when you have Venus in Virgo. It's like, you might be unhappy in your relationships. You guys might find people who are not ideal partners, and all of these types of things, because it's like, in a way, it's just feeding into that belief that you guys already have, that, you know, this person doesn't exist out there, that you guys have to do everything for yourselves all the time. Because again, there's always that connection with the Virgo energy. When you guys were younger, one or both of the parents were like, oh, that kid's fine, you know, that kid's competent, you know, I don't have to worry about that kid too much. I might have to focus on all these other kids in the house or whatever. Maybe the parents had to focus on work if you were an only child, and it's like you guys spent a lot of time being on your own. It's really what that is with the Virgo energy. And there's a lot of energy of control that happens here, where it's like a lot of your life was maybe spinning out of control, so you take matters into your own hands. And this is why you guys might struggle in relationships, because it's like a relationship is, you know, allowing the other person to have the trust, to have the control sometimes. And it's like you guys might have a hard time allowing someone else to be in the driver's seat, because you might think that that person might not do it correctly, that they might not do it the way that you guys would do it, you know, and the way that you guys had envisioned. So that's the whole thing here. You'll notice this placement a lot of the time might be single for extended periods of time, or if they are with a partner, you're going to kind of be like, why are they with that person? If you're looking for it, you'll always find something wrong with someone. You know what I mean? Like, everyone has flaws. And it's like, again, it's because of the fact that you weren't able to have flaws when you were younger with the Venus and Virgo placement. And it's like you have to accept that within yourself first. And it's like this placement is analytical. So it's like, even in terms of relationships, it's like you guys might become overly analytical, and you guys will be aware of this. Like, everything that I'm saying, you guys are going to be aware that, you know, this person is a reflection of you. And it's like you guys might have a hard time digesting that, you know. And it's like I said, you guys might attract people who are the complete opposite, like someone who's just like so free and doesn't care, and, you know, the sloppy all over the place and just like doing all these things, and you're like, how are you even functioning in this world, you know? So you guys might attract this, and you might even ask yourselves, because it's that analytical mind, you might be like, how is this person on my frequency, or how did I attract this person? It's because that person's your shadow. That's the thing. It's your unintegrated self. That's the thing. And also on top of that, with the analytical mind, you guys might become super analytical of your relationships, or just analyze relationships. Like, your approach to relationships might be analytical. Like, you guys might have a hard time going with the flow, like Pisces. Pisces is very much going with the flow. So it's like, sometimes because you guys overanalyze things, maybe early on in a relationship, you guys like, you know, don't even engage with a person, where it could have been, you know, a great 1-year relationship. For you guys, you already analyzed something, you found a flaw in that person. It's like, we can't be together for this reason. And it's like, you guys stop it. There's that energy of control. So you guys are really going to struggle in terms of relationships. Like, it could be a very beautiful relationship after all of this energy is integrated within yourself. You guys are aware of this, and you do find someone who's on your level, and you do find someone who's balanced. And like I said, I told you guys the ideal version in the beginning of this video, just to let you guys know what you guys are striving for and what you guys are going towards. You know, you guys are going toward that energy. But again, you know, anytime you're attracting people into your life, you have to see what these people are teaching you. Even if there's something you don't like in them, or something that's bothering you about that person, you're going to have to integrate that. So there's going to be a lot of work around relationships, because again, it is an earth sign. Earth signs are always going to be working on something. And you can twist this energy in like a positive way as well. Like that criticism energy that Virgo does tend to come with, you guys can work towards things together, you know, or like find a different way to deliver your message. Like, hey, why don't we go to the gym together? It's going to be really fun. Like, instead of, you know, saying to your partner, being like, you need to go to the gym, or whatever it is, like kind of just giving you guys a random example, or taking personal development courses and these types of things. So that's really what that is with the Virgo energy. It's like you guys are going to be healers. You're gonna have that healing energy, that healing aura. You're always going to attract all sorts of people to you, because the Virgo energy is very, very healing. But at the same time, it's quickly able to fall into that shadow where it's like, you guys don't allow yourselves to enjoy. That's the thing. You just don't allow yourselves to enjoy sometimes. It's like you guys might be hardworking, you might work hard toward, you know, your goals in life, and you guys might achieve these things, or you might, you know, get into these relationships, but it's like you guys don't actually give yourselves that space to enjoy, to indulge in that relationship, because that's really what Venus is also about. It is about that indulgence energy. And for you guys, it might be a struggle to enjoy in this area, to enjoy, you know, maybe going on a vacation after you guys work so hard. Because again, in your mind, it could be like, oh, I can't leave work. They need me at work so much. Or, you know, I need to keep working. I need to save toward this and toward that. And it's like, that's going to be a huge thing also for this placement. It's going to be allowing yourselves to enjoy, to indulge. So my dear friends, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I do hope you guys did enjoy my video on Venus and Virgo. If you did, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day.